Hi, my name is Gina Williams-Janes, and when I'm talking about trauma, it is best to take the universal approach and treat all kids like they've been from trauma. Trauma touches all of the students' lives, whether it's in the past or it's in the future. It's important to have those skills that are necessary so that they can cope. We all experienced trauma this year with the COVID virus pandemic. Schools were shut down, kids were moved to distant learning, they didn't know if they would be in school, what they would have. Trauma can also come from neglect, abuse, witnessing violence, something that happens only once or something that's ongoing. It leaves our kids feeling stressed and on high alert. It puts them in this lower brain state, which is a constant fight or flight situation. Trauma-informed teaching, it's not a set curriculum or a prescribed set of strategies, but it creates safety and connection and hope with a consistency and a routined environment. So it starts with safety, health, true connection. It builds self-awareness, relationship, self-management, social awareness, so that they can regulate themselves in an executive brain state, getting them to that higher brain state where they're self-regulated and they're calm. They can take in more academic knowledge. They can take in more tools that they need, and they can be effective problem solvers. So some of the strategies that you can use is first and foremost is building that sense of safety. So at my school, we work on conscious discipline, and every day we have a safe keeper box. When they come into the room, I put my trinket in, and I tell them it's my job to keep you safe. They'll respond with, it's our job to help keep it safe. And this is something we work on all the time. We have a safe place in our room where they can go if they need to calm down and take a break. We work on different mindfulness techniques, movement breaks, things like this. But they, over and over, they know that they can be safe with me. The very first thing that I always do is work on that connection. They walk into the room, day one, I have them draw a picture or write, put their name on the paper and their favorite toy so that we can start working on that relationship instantly. And that doesn't matter if it is a typical kid, a child from trauma. The relationship is key. Getting that trust, building that connection, and making them feel safe. The second thing is connectiveness. So every morning in our classroom, the great way to start that, to build that connection, is we start with morning greetings. We have all kinds of things. I mean, in coronavirus, we had virtual high fives and air hugs and, smile. It's getting a little bit better now. We can, actually do fist pumps or elbows, and there's silly little handshakes and things like that. I also have a morning greeter, so when the kids enter the room from the playground when we start our day, they're connecting with another student. And it's all about, when we practice these skills, making that eye contact, saying good morning, but creating environment where they have these connections and these people who are together. So the first thing, too, we start our day with a brain start smart. We're all moving in unity, building that connection. We turn on a little bit of exercise and music that we're doing at the same time, and then it goes into a mindfulness thing. We also take brain breaks throughout the day, so we're all jumping around, moving together, crossing that midline, doing all those things. And I create small group activities in the room also. This way they have time to team, collaborate, work together, help another child if one's, not as academically strong. They work together and can learn together. But that all builds connectiveness, part of that safety, that trust, that connection. This is their safe place for them. And the next thing is to build hope. These kids are feeling bad about themselves, their future. They're not sure. There's this a sense of insecurity. Share stories, make lessons, change our culture plans to make it so it's sharing hope. Give them positive affirmations. Tell them what wonderful things they're doing, what wonderful things that, are around them, that they're kind and they're beautiful and they're, they share and they're nice and they have a good spirit. Give them those words and those tools and tell them you are amazing and we can do it every day. Tell them that, and explain different examples of how people find help in different ways. I had a student this year whose mother died. And so we talked about a lot of different strategies to keep them connected and keep them celebrated, and showed lots of examples. We did some workbooks and different activities, and just talking about it really, let him feel safe and connected. we are all going through lots of different things in our lives, and they need that. And they need someone who they feel safe and will communicate with, you know, um, show them different perspectives too, different things that could have happened. I adopted my son from trauma, and he had a very negative outlook on life. He was born on methamphetamines, and at 4 months old, they threw him through a wall. And so, his views and trusting of people was very, very complicated. Different perspectives and where people come from and what he's accomplished now. All of these things are key players, again, to kids who've had trauma or kids who might experience it in the future, even as adults. They're You need to build that safety and connection. They get in that right brain state so that they can focus and make these problem solving decisions, be responsible with all these other things, and fill in the 5 competencies and give them really filling the whole child. Another thing to do is really promote self awareness, where they're feeling, where their emotional state is, and those regulating skills that go right back to our social emotional learning of how to breathe, how to calm down, what self-care do you need, what makes you happy. Teaching them mindfulness as far as, singing in unity and things that we do at school, mindfulness in just exercise and movements and yoga and things that they can take into the world, like our deep breathing and strategies like that, a self-regulating cube and giving them a couple of positive choices, things that they could take into the world to self-regulate and manage that stress, that trauma, their whole life long. Another way is allow them to express non-verbally, verbally, obviously, but if they want to express it non-verbally, you can play dolls. You can have a situation where you're setting up a little house and let them express it a different way, or have them draw a picture, show you the good things, the bad things. You can communicate in lots of ways. It doesn't always have to be words. They might not know the words to express what they're going through. Talk to them about what they're grateful for or what they appreciate. A lot of these kids from trauma come with a lot of negative thoughts, and everything is bad and everyone is bad and everything is going to be bad. You want to talk about what are they grateful for? What's good in your life right now? What's something that we can hold on to or bring more joy into your life at this moment? Gather the things that give you positive, make you feel joy, all of those things. And lastly, tell them you want to build them up. Tell them what they're great at. I had one student who his trauma came from being at a general ed population, and he needed a lot of extra supports. So he was, I can't do this. I'm stupid. I'm not smart. There's so many different forms of trauma, but building them up. Look at what you just did. You just, got your paper out. It can start at the basics. You got your paper out. You put your name on it. You got all ready. You're showing me you're ready for this lesson. You're ready to do it. To you did a fantastic job at math. Look at you just solved those multiplication problems. You can do this. And build them up and show them all the wonderful things they do. I know even like report cards and things like that, we really focus on the positive just to build up their self-esteem and their whole spirit. And using all of these different strategies must, be where you're connected to the child and you can really have that authentic relationship with them. Changes the whole outlook of everything and really gives them the tools and things that they need to be successful. It's also useful for your coworkers and even yourself to make sure that you're doing that self-care. You're building that safety connection. There's people that you trust around you and things that spark and bring you joy every day will help you for a lifetime of little stresses to major traumas.